my name's Jesse. So a couple weeks ago, it occurred to me that I didn't have any idea how many guitars I've owned in the 40 some odd years I've been playing. So I sat down at my computer to come up with a list. And over the course of a weekend of racking my brain and waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and going, carving, I came up with a list of about 200 guitars. And then I thought about it, and it's like, man, it's a real shame that I didn't document those guitars, because there was a story that went with each of them, be it a large story or a small story. And I thought about it, and it's like, I've got 30 guitars in my collection right now. And so that's about 15% of what I've had over the course of my life. So I might as well document them. My friend Don has been on me about doing this for a while, and I said, I think I'm gonna. So I figure what I'm gonna do is talk to you about what I've been working on musically, what I've been working on it with, and then just some random thoughts I have to try and give my life a little context. So what I've been working on is really trying to use the caged system to find chords up and down the fingerboard that I can use then as target notes. Guthrie Trapp has done a bunch of videos on them that are really cool, and I said, I'm going to take that C minor 9 F7 F dominant 7th jam and just put it in all the different places on the fingerboard, and then just try and work on improving my solos. And I had some problems with connecting the shapes up, because you can work in here in this spot, then you can work here in this spot, and then you can work here in this spot, and then you got some stuff here, but the voicings get a little weird. And it occurred to me that B flat major has both C minor and F dominant 7th in it, so I started trying to use B flat to connect up those patterns, and it's worked. I'm making progress on it, but the one thing I did learn is that you can't just play B flat all the way through, because it works, but there's a real sameness then. Everything just kind of sounds the same, and you don't get the flavor of some of the notes in the F7 or the C minor. I've been working on that with this Peavey Reactor. I picked this up not too long ago. I'm assuming it's early to mid 90s, something along those lines. That's when the Reactor and the Predator came out. They're the ones that say crafted in the USA instead of made in the USA. A quick search on the interwebs said that the body came from Taiwan and the neck was made in the US. I'm assuming the hardware and the pickups were made overseas. The three-way switch was really junk. I ended up having to replace that when I bought it. The tuners were kind of those ping tuners, and I did end up having to replace those because some of them were just stuck and didn't want to work. Guitar Fetish has some Cluson-like drop-ins that work really well for that. And I found that I really loved the neck. The pickups are really hot. The neck pickup is 8 plus K ohms. The bridge pickup 9 plus K ohms. There's a brass plate under the bridge pickup which supposedly helps with inductance. They're not bad sounding, a little dark, a little hot. it doesn't work really well. If I really like the neck pickup, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just replace the bridge pickup. So I did, and it didn't work. They kind of work well as a set. So I was modding them to do some experiments with something, and I was thinking about selling it again. So I put it back together and I started playing it, and I was like, no, this feels too good. I can't let it go right now. So what have I been thinking about lately? Well, I've been thinking about why I feel this compulsion to make videos, and I kind of ask myself why. Because you don't have to look far to find better players. Not far at all. You don't have to look far to find better videographers. You don't have to look far to find better storytellers. So why? Why bother? What's the point? And I thought about it a long time, and I finally came to the conclusion that it's okay if I'm not an expert. It's okay if I don't have the best looking videos. It's okay if I'm not the most compelling storyteller in the world. 3 things kind of play upon my mind. Number 1, my voice is just as worthy of being heard as anyone else's. I have unique experiences that I can talk about that may be entertaining or meaningful to someone. And I'm getting older. I'm in my 50s, and I can see the end game in sight. You know what I'm talking about? The end game. And I thought maybe, just maybe, in the future, someone who knew me might want to hear my voice again. I know my dad passed in 2015, and not a day goes by that I don't want to hear his voice again. So here I am, putting it out there for the universe to hear. It kind of makes me think of that Percy Bysshe Shelley poem, Ozymandias. I'm not going to read that poem to you because I kind of think Percy Bysshe Shelley is a little pretentious. I'm not a big fan. If you want to contest me on that, just look up Percy Bysshe Shelley's death and then come back and talk to me. But Ozymandias was this short poem that talked about a guy who walked out into the desert and he saw the wreckage of a huge statue. Like huge, think the Colossus of Rhodes or something like that, the Statue of Liberty, something huge. And out in the sand there were just these 2 huge trunk-like legs, a shattered face, and on the pedestal upon which the legs stood was the saying, "I am Ozymandias, King of Kings, look upon my works ye mighty, and despair." And the whole point of the poem is to point out the folly of man, the naivete that man could do anything that would have any significant impact on the epochal expanse that we call time, and the idea that nature ultimately will claim what is its, because Shelley was a romantic in the classic sense. I see what he's trying to say, and human ego is a thing, and I can see where that's something that someone needs to hear. But I don't think everybody who makes art or makes a statue or makes music or writes or puts something down that might last longer than them is doing it because they think they're going to live forever. I think they're doing it because they want to communicate. They want to communicate with people around them, and they want to communicate with people who may come after them, who may be interested in what they have to say. So hello from the past. My name's Jesse. I'll talk to you later.